What is up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. One of the things that I'd like to do today is put a carnivorous diet into more of an evolutionary context to give you guys some idea of the way I see human evolution in connection with what we're eating and how that affects how we could be eating now as humans for optimal health. So let's dig into it. At the beginning of this video, I want to note that I recently did a podcast debate with Lane Norton. Some of you guys may know of him. That is posted at Mark Bell's Power Project. It'll be up for perpetuity. So depending when you're watching this video, if it's in late February 2019, the debate just happened and it's hot off the press, check it out. If it's later in 2019 or in the future, the debate is still out there, check it out. One of the things that came up in the research for the debate gives me some ideas for what I'm going to talk about today. The idea that in the animal kingdom, in evolution, there seem to be both facultative and obligate carnivores. Obligate carnivores are animals like lions and tigers that really in nature just eat meat, and if they eat plant products, they get violently sick and they don't tolerate them at all. There are other animals, maybe like wolves or some species of wolves, some in the canine genus, that are facultative carnivores, meaning that the majority of their diet is meat, but they can use other foods if they need to during times of starvation. I would create a thesis, a hypothesis at this point, that humans may in fact be facultative carnivores. Now, the delineation between a facultative carnivore and an omnivore is pretty soft, but I will try and expound upon that in this video. What I would argue is that throughout human evolution, we have probably been scavengers first and then pack hunters, with animals as our primary food, using plant foods only in times of starvation or as an adjunct to animal foods. What is interesting for me about a true carnivorous diet, which is a term that I will coin now to mean a nose-to-tail style of eating animals, is that that really provides all of the nutrients that a human needs to thrive. I've talked about this a little bit in my other work, but the idea is that if we eat the animal meat in addition to animal connective tissue, which is a source of glycine or collagen, in addition to organ meats, which have other trace minerals that are not found in the muscles, like retinol, a form of vitamin A, higher amounts of folate, higher amounts of choline, higher amounts of riboflavin, especially in the liver, which is a very important nutrient. And we combine that with bones, which are good sources of calcium, manganese, boron, and we think about eating nose to tail, that's most of the organs. You can eat a heart, you can eat a liver, you can eat a pancreas, a spleen, the brain as well as a good source of the omega-3s. But when we do that, when we think about where the different nutrients are coming from in an animal, we see that we can get everything we need to thrive from an animal. And the second important piece of that equation is that we can do that without getting these nutrients from plants, which have many toxins in them, I believe. And there's plenty of evidence for this. I've talked about it on Instagram and I'll continue to talk about it more. But throughout evolution, plants are stationary and they have evolved defense mechanisms. They have evolved natural pesticides to keep animals like humans and other animals that eat plants away from them. There are thousands of pesticides in plants as well as other toxins like tannins, phytoalexins, all sorts of things like this, which can be very toxic to humans when we eat them. And so I would say that perhaps humans are in fact facultative carnivores. Eating an animal nose to tail provides all the nutrients we need in the most highly bioavailable forms without plants and their associated toxins. We also know that nutrients in plants are not very well absorbed in humans. Heme iron in animals, very highly absorbed. Plant-based iron, really poorly absorbed. The same is true for plant-based minerals like magnesium and calcium. They're usually chelated inside molecules like phytic acid, which prevent their absorption and can actually impair the absorption of other divalent cations, that is, ions with a positive 2 charge, like zinc, copper, manganese, calcium, magnesium in the human body. So phytic acid can impair the absorption of those molecules as well in humans. Just more of the plant toxins is what I'm talking about here. So the idea is that if we eat animals, this is the optimal source of all of our nutrients. We can leave out plants, which may in fact really just be a survival food as a facultative carnivore, but not a needed food. And then we can avoid all the toxins that come with the plants. So if you listen to the debate with Lane, these were the points that I raised. And then we talked about fiber, the non-utility, the potential harm of fiber in humans, which I will leave for the debate for you guys to watch. And then we also talked about phytonutrients a little bit. There wasn't quite enough time, but as you will see on my Instagram and as I will post more on YouTube, I do not believe that there are any unique phytonutrients in plants that humans benefit from in a way that we cannot obtain from animals. What am I saying here? I am saying that molecules like curcumin, molecules like resveratrol, molecules like sulforaphane do not have unique roles in human physiology. This is the subject of a whole nother video, but I would posit that the benefits that have been shown to be derived from those molecules are actually obtainable on an animal-based diet. I'll give you some examples. Sulforaphane is a glucosinolate found in brassica-type vegetables. The precursor to sulforaphane is glucoraphanin, which combines with myrosinase when animals chew brassicate vegetables. The combination of myrosinase and glucoraphanin makes sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is technically viewed as a toxin by the body. It is immediately detoxified through phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification and goes out of the body. It does not participate in human biochemistry in a unique way. But like many other toxins that humans are exposed to, we may get a hormetic response to this, and the NRF2 pathway can get activated. What does the NRF2 pathway do? It increases our endogenous production of glutathione. So the benefits of sulforaphane are due to glutathione. That is an endogenous antioxidant that humans make. We can make that on our own. We can be exposed to other molecules that increase glutathione, or we can do other activities that increase glutathione. We don't need plants to make enough glutathione or to have a favorable, healthy, oxidative defense mechanism like the glutathione molecule provides for humans. That's a whole nother video. I can talk about that in the future as well. The other molecule that I'll talk about briefly is resveratrol. This one is touted as being the fountain of youth, but in fact, the benefits of resveratrol on the sirtuin system of genes can also be obtained by states of ketosis. So we know that resveratrol seems to mimic caloric restriction epigenetically in the human body by activating sirtuin genes, which then change the transcription of genes involved in insulin resistance and oxidative stress through deacylation of lysine residues. It gets technical, but technically sirtuins are NAD-dependent deacylase molecules, and they turn on longevity genes around insulin resistance like FOXO, etc. Now, we can do the same things with ketones. Beta-hydroxybutyrate, obtained in ketosis, one of the main ketones, also has those same effects on sirtuins, NAD-NADH balance, and histone deacetylase inhibition. So, in brief, without going down that rabbit hole too much, I would argue that molecules like resveratrol, molecules like sulforaphane do not have unique roles. We can get all those benefits as well from ketosis, exercise, healthy diets that don't have processed oils, not being exposed to other stressors, and keeping the glutathione levels high, and doing other things that promote longevity gene systems like ketosis or caloric restriction in the setting of fasting. So, what's my thesis here? Let's sum it up again. Facultative carnivores can use animals as the primary fuel. Animals can provide all the nutrients that humans need without the toxins in plants. Plants don't have unique molecules that benefit humans. Fiber is not beneficial, potentially harmful to people. Phytochemicals, not beneficial in a net way. We haven't studied them fully. They don't have unique benefits. We do fine without them. In fact, we can thrive just as well without them. And so if we look back, we can go to a full animal-based diet, eating nose to tail, get all of the nutrients we need without any of the plant toxins, and that is the idea around a true carnivorous diet in a facultative carnivore setting. Now, if you tolerate plants, that's fine. Some people may tolerate plants just fine, but the idea is that perhaps some people don't tolerate plants well at all, and that in a facultative carnivore role, you can eliminate the plants from your diet, eating nose to tail, and see how you do. This is what we're seeing in forums, this is what we're seeing in collections of case studies like meatheals.com, is that people on carnivorous diets are finding that previously recalcitrant conditions are improving. These are autoimmune diseases, these are depressive and anxiety illnesses, which I believe are also autoimmune in many cases. And so if you go to that website, you can see many people with diseases that have not been able to be treated by Western medicine are improving on this type of diet. So perhaps what's going on here is that plants and the associated toxins could be triggering autoimmunity, could be triggering inflammation, could be triggering issues. And if we believe that humans are facultative carnivores and can get all of our nutrition from animals, then we don't need plants. We can safely eliminate them, thrive on a carnivorous diet. If we get improvement in our symptoms, that's great. People are helped. If they want to incorporate plants back, they can do that and see if they trigger the symptoms. A lot of people just end up on a carnivorous diet long term, but it's okay to reintroduce plants if you tolerate them. So what if you're on a mixed diet and you're feeling good and you're not having any symptoms? Well, in that case, I think it's awesome. For those kind of people, it's hard to make an argument that they should go around eliminating the plants. I don't think everyone needs to be on a carnivorous diet to thrive. If you're already thriving on a mixed diet, that is so cool. That's awesome. But I would encourage you to work with a doctor who's going to dig into your lab work and make sure that there's no smoldering inflammation, there's no evidence of autoimmunity, and that there's no other micronutrient deficiencies. If all that looks good, then yeah, that's great. Maybe you're part of the population that tolerates plants. You're a special facultative carnivore, and you can really tolerate the plants in a survival situation better than other people. But I think that both are options, and that for people that are having symptoms and want to consider eliminating plants for some amount of time, I think it's a reasonable thing to do in light of our not needing them, in light of the plant toxins that are there, and in light of the fact that animal foods, when doing a nose-to-tail eating style, like a true carnivore style, can be fully nutritive for humans and create health. So hopefully this is helpful, you guys. I enjoy making this type of content. I hope that you are enjoying it as well. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching the video, you guys. As you'll notice below the video, I have a Patreon account set up. So if you are interested in supporting my work, check that out. I have bonuses there for people who contribute. These include a private Q&A with me in the future, pre-released content, specialty content, etc., and the ability to vote on which videos I'm making in the future. So check out my Patreon if you'd like to support my work, and I hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you soon.